Hey Flosstube, Ashley here, Buggy Stitcher on YouTube, Schleesum_Buggy Stitcher on Instagram, coming to you guys with another unboxing. This one is from Newcraftday. I have two cross stitch patterns for you guys. I also have a surprise at the end, so I will announce when that surprise is at the end of the video. And yeah, Newcraftday sent me these two projects. I will leave all of their information in the description box down below, along with a coupon code in case you want to go shopping. I have been terrible with window shopping lately, so buyer beware. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. Sorry for all the crinkling noise. These are unboxing videos. It's just the way it goes. So first things first, we have this pattern, which I think is amazing. A lone tree with the sun and then the moon together. And it comes with our poster pattern, which is awesome. Wow, there's only 19 colors in this. Holy cow. So here is our pattern. I'm surprised this only has 19 colors. I'm curious to see what it looks like with only 19 colors, because that's not very much at all. This is a 36 by 46. Here is a really huge key. We have the card number on the card, the symbol on the pattern, the DMC number, and the DMC color of your floss. Yeah, it's on the shiny poster. Again, I like the poster patterns because they are more durable than the paper ones. So there's that. All right, it comes with my two favorite tapestry needles. These are not the gold tipped ones. These are the regular tapestry needles. I prefer these because the gold tipped needles aren't quite as smooth in the fabric for me, and they have a really small eye, so they're really hard to, what am I trying to say? They're really hard to thread the needle. So yeah. All right, here is the canvas. We have a huge margin all the way around, which is amazing. That is my absolute favorite. It's not serged, but it doesn't really matter because there's a huge margin, so it doesn't really, I don't really care. The stamping is very bright and vivid. Let me look and see if there's any similar colors. Let's see. I don't think so. It might be kind of hard. There's like a blue forward dash and a blue greater sign, but it should be pretty easy to view. Again, with only 19 colors in this, I'm so curious what this is going to look like. And look at that big, look at the big picture that it came with. Holy cow. Normally they're like this big, so you can't really see what the picture is, but that's huge. Okay, let's look at the colors. So we have a thread, a really long thread apparently that didn't like get cut or something, because there's like this really long thread. I'll have to put that back up. But here are our colors. A lot of 13. What is 13? The background color, 939. Nah, typical me. Here's all of our background, 939. And then we have some bright oranges and reds for the sun, and then our blues for the moon. And then we have this yellow right here. And that is it for that one. All right, our next pattern. So if you are new to this channel, first of all, welcome. I am huge, I call them watercolor girls. It's just like watercolor painted women. And I tend to have a lot of them. You know, I have yet to finish one. I don't know why, I just haven't for some reason. But I only have, I think I have 1, 2, I think I have 3 going right now. Maybe 4? 4 patterns, 3 patterns, I'm not sure. Either way, I'm huge into the watercolor girls, that's what I call them. And if you're returning, then you already know that. So here is an ode to the watercolor girl. So this is a watercolor girl, and it just kind of reminds me of like a witch. She's got like a fireball here. She's got like a witchish hat, and then flowers all around her. Isn't she gorgeous? I love her. She's great. This is, let's see if I can see the size. This is a 50 by 70, so she's big. And we got a really thick poster pattern. This is very thick poster, holy cow. Here is our pattern on poster paper. The printing of it is pretty small. It might be kind of hard to read. Oh boy, and it looks like we have a red outline box. So we have a red square and a yellow box. And then, what else do we have? I just saw it, where did it go? Oh no, that's it, it's all one color. Okay, so a red box and a yellow square, which gets kind of hard to see, but hopefully all is well. We have 30 colors. We have the key number. Oh, there we go, sorry. The key number, the symbol and the pattern, the DMC number, and the color in which you're supposed to be stitching. And this one came with 3 of my favorite needles. So we got 3 in there. They're all kind of in the same hole, so kind of hard to see. And holy cow, this is huge. The margins are huge. All right, here we go. Look how big that margin is. That's amazing. So I really love a big margin. It makes it easier to put your hoop and frame in. It just makes, I don't know, framing easier. Just makes life easier to have like a big margin. And then we have like a salvage end right here, which is totally fine because that means it's basically serged. Nice, huge key. We have a really big picture pattern, which again, they're normally like this big. So they must have changed something. 173 by 259 stitches. And that is how big she is. She's a biggin'. Again, 50 by 70. Let's see what the stamping looks like in the middle. Oh boy, there's a lot of confetti around her face for sure. But it looks like we do have some spots of bulk color. All right, here is the confetti around her face. Kind of confetti heavy there. But your background, I'm surprised there's not quite as much confetti, considering it's just a bunch of like flowers. But yeah, stamping looks great. Look. So normally when you have the like L's, the sideways L's, they're really light in color, but the stamping on this, look how bright that L is, the sideways L. That's amazing. All right, so the stamping on this is really good. I'm super excited. Awesome. Okay, and the moment everyone always is waiting for, the floss. I'm surprised they were able to fit all of this floss on this one card. So again, we have 30 colors. And look at all those. Let me see if I can try and separate them for you. All right, there we go. So we got blues, greens, golds, pinks and reds. And then we have this beautiful teal and a green. Focus the color. There we go. Some golds. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like a lavender, a very light lavender color. If my camera were, there we go. Look at that. It's like a lavender color. Okay, so there we go. There's our floss, nice and soft. And again, I'm so shocked that they were able to fit it on this one card, because look how thick that is right there. And just a reminder too, so when you get these stamped kits or you're using a floss card, if you see the loop like the, let me pick a dark color. If you see the loop like this, when you're picking your floss, you need to grab from here, not up here, otherwise it will get tangled. Now, if you see your floss like this, you need to pull from here, not down here, otherwise your floss will get tangled. So keep that in mind. You can always just flip it over if you prefer this side versus this side. But just keep that in mind when you're pulling your floss off. So there is that. All right, we're gonna do a stitch with me. We are gonna stitch on the moon and the sun. Thank you all so much. If you are headed out, thank you and for watching. Take care, be safe, stay warm, and we'll see you next time. Again, thank you Newcraftday for sending these over for a review. I will go ahead and start the stitch with me, and in the stitch with me, we will talk about the surprise. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, everybody, we are back. I am talking a little bit quieter because the mic is right next to my mouth. We are trying a new setup today for the stitch with me, and I'm going to show you how I do tent stitch on an 11 count stamped kit. We are working on this this moon that I just unboxed, and we're going to go ahead and just get started. As soon as we get started, I will announce what the surprise is. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. For a stamped kit, I use an entire strand of floss. So this has the 6 strands. So I took a whole strand off the thing. I didn't separate the floss at all. And for tent stitch, I just go down in the top left corner, excuse me, the bottom left corner, and I pull the floss through. Now, I normally stitch two-handed, so we'll see how this goes. I also normally talk really loud, so we'll also see how this goes too. Top right corner, pull it almost all the way through, and then I go back down in the bottom left corner again to lock in those threads. And then I just start stitching. I'm also using a very long piece of thread because I didn't want to have to like move and rethread my needle or anything. So we're just gonna try this out and see how this goes. Again, I normally stitch two-handed, so this is gonna be painstakingly slow, but that's okay. We're just gonna do it. All right, so we just did the unboxing video. We unboxed the Watercolorgirl, and we also unboxed this moon slash sun-ish, like, I don't know, tree. And so the surprise. So that Watercolorgirl we just unboxed is going to be the pattern for our traveling pattern. Now, if you missed that video, a couple videos ago, I announced that I was going to do what's called a traveling pattern. And kind of like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which is a movie about several friends who share the same pant size. Well, not the same pant size, but this magical pair of pants happens to be the same size for or fit like 4 different girls. And they send the pants to each other in different countries or wherever they are with like a note or a letter, and then the pants. And so I am going to be hosting what I'm calling the traveling pattern. And it's basically, I've selected a pattern, which is the Watercolorgirl, and we will be passing that around to 12 different people to stitch on. And, you know, it doesn't matter where you're at in the world. You can sign up for it if you would like. And I'm going to be releasing a video all about this in the next week or so. But yeah, that's going to be our pattern. And so I'm going to stitch on it first. I'm going to do a section, and then I am going to we're going to draw 12 people, and you know, we'll do an opt-in video explaining all the rules and details and everything of this. But if you've opted in, I will do a drawing for 12 people, and I will pass around the pattern. So I'll send it to someone, and then when that person is done with whatever section they choose to do, they will then send it to the next person, so on and so forth until it is done, or we've hit all 12 people working on it. And as soon as all 12 people have got to work on it for a month, then they'll send it back to me, and if it still needs finished, then I'll finish it. And then we will do a raffle for everyone who participated. So those 12 people, we will do a raffle to see who gets the finished product. So that's what we're going to be doing. And again, I will be releasing the video for that with all of the details, and officially announcing that that's what the pattern is in the next week or two. So I am going to start though stitching my section of it. I just want people to be able to see what exactly I mean by like picking a section and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I'm gonna include some treats in the package for everybody, and you know, everyone will take one and pass it on basically. And I will have some paper to write down some notes or anything you're thinking about while stitching. It could be, man, I had a rough day, or man, this was awesome to stitch on, or you know, whatever you're feeling when you're stitching the project. And then you know, whatever you want to send off to the next person, and then that person will mail it to the next person on the list that the next person, and I'll give them that information. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be super fun. I'm so excited to host it. You know, I've been thinking about it a lot on like what I want the rules and things to be, how I want it to go about doing it. You know, shipping information. That's the hardest part of all of this, is the shipping. So, you know, we each have to pay for the shipping to ship it to the next person. Then we have to wait for the shipment to be received. And then the next person will get, you know, 4 weeks to work on it. And then they'll send it off to the next person. And again, that person will then pay for the shipping, and so on and so forth. So I'm hoping everything kind of goes smooth and everyone likes it and enjoys it and is having fun. You don't have to, you know, finish the section that you choose. You know, life happens, everything happens. Maybe you just weren't feeling stitching on it, or you weren't feeling stitching at all. Maybe you had a family emergency or something, and you know, you just couldn't stitch on it. So you're just gonna pick like a section and go and stitch whatever you can, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get your section done. But yeah, so that's the surprise. That is the pattern that I chose for our traveling pattern, and I'm super excited to get it going. It's gonna be super fun. Hopefully, I hope everyone enjoys it. But again, look for that video. I will be posting just a specific traveling pattern video where we talk about the rules, where you can opt in to do it with this pattern. And if everything is smooth sailing and you don't get drawn for this first go around, if everything works out, I'll host another one when this one's done. So, or if I find out that it's really not that much to manage, I'll host 2 at the same time. It all depends on like how this first one goes, really. This is our trial run, so to speak. So anyway, it was super fun. So anyway, this the stitching on this is Pretty good. The canvas is very starchy and I did not soften it before putting in the frame, so there is that. So my thread's not going through it quite as easily as normal. But the thread is soft and the stamping is really good on it so far anyway. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. And of course, I used a longer thread that I normally like to use. I normally cut this in half. Use that. You have less tangles if you use a smaller piece of thread. So keep that in mind if you're a new stitcher. So yeah, we're just gonna stitch. You know, this is a really long piece of thread. I don't know if I will stitch this whole thing or not because I want to stitch on other things as well today. I would like to stitch on Bellatrix, which is a Bella Filipina pattern, and I want to stitch my Sleeping Beauty, which I've been doing really good on. And you know, I think that's all I'm going to be stitching on today. Just Bellatrix and Sleeping Beauty. Those two I've been working on today and I'm enjoying them. I hope all of you are having a great weekend. We had some friends over to play some board games, which was nice. We made some hot dogs. And I made a veggie tray with some ranch dip and some cheese, which was tasty. Super fun. And now we're just going to relax. It's late here. So, you know, we're kind of winding down for the night. I don't like using this big of a thread. There we go. We're all winding down for the night. I'm getting ready for bed. But I wanted to get this video out because I'm so excited about the traveling pattern and that we got the pattern to show you. Super excited about that. So two things. I don't know how loud the volume is right now while stitching, but you can hear that I'm having to pull fairly hard on some spots. There's several things we can do about that. We can, one, go up a needle or down a needle size. So I think this one's a 20. I can go to an 18, which is a bigger needle. I could use a smaller thread length. I used one that's like double the size I normally do. Or 3, I could take the fabric out of the hoop and start twirling it, whirling it, squishing it, wrinkling it, just moving it around, rolling it in all different directions, you know, scrunching it up. And doing that takes away some of the starchiness of the pattern, which then allows for the needle to slide through the fabric easier. So if you ever have a really starchy pattern, that's like the way to go, is like the wiggling the pattern around and everything. So, but there are different things that you can do if it's not that enjoyable, but your fabric will soften up over time. It's just depends on how much starch they use in the printing process. So, and with 10th stitch, especially on a limited count stamped kit, it looks not that great when you're looking at it nose to nose. But if you hold it further away and you don't have the light shining like right on it, it has great coverage. I have now started several, I think 5 or 6 patterns in 10th stitch like this, and they are all looking fabulous. So I have no complaints. I think I will still keep some of my stamped patterns as full cross. The reason why is when you're doing this 10 stitch, I noticed this on Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty, I did the stitch with me full cross, and then I changed my mind and decided I wanted to do 10 stitch. And after doing a big bulk of 10 stitch next to the full cross, I realized the full cross stitches are very shiny in comparison to the 10 stitches. And I don't know why that is. So if any of you know why that is, please let me know in the comments down below, because I have no idea. But yeah, the stitches looked significantly like more dull, I guess, duller than your full cross stitches. And I don't know why. I've never seen that happen before. And you know, you wouldn't notice it if you just had 10 stitches on everything, but it just so happens that I have, you know, 10 stitches right next to full cross stitches, and you can really tell a difference. So yeah, I don't know why that is. And it was kind of like, what is happening here kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. So I think I'll, there's some projects I'm going to keep as full cross. So like Beauty and the Beast will remain full cross. The Ravenclaw room will be full cross. But a lot of my bigger projects I'm going to switch over to 10 stitch, because this just looks, it still looks good. It's so much faster, and I am just so much happier when I see progress, like, quickly. So I don't know what it is. It's just me and my brain. I'm motivated by progress. If I see progress, I continue to stitch on it more and more, because I get excited about the progress that I'm seeing, and we'll just continue to go. So all right, this thread is significantly long and it's getting late. So I am gonna go ahead and end the stitch with me. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Newcraftday, for sending these patterns over to me. Remember, the sneak peek surprise was that the Watercolor Girl is going to be our pattern for the traveling pattern. Look for that video in the next week or two with the rules, and in that video you will opt in to stitch that, and then by opting in you will be accepting the rules and conditions that I've set basically for the contest. Well, not really a contest, the traveling pattern, and then as soon as it's all done, we'll draw out of the 12 people to see who gets to keep the pattern, the finished project. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate every single one of you. I hope you all have a fabulous day. Stay safe, stay warm, and take care. Bye.